Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth with Life on Fire TV, and I'm here with Michael O'Neill, the one and only, the hobby extraordinaire, the man of how many hobbies? 4, 5?
A lot.
15 hobbies?
At least, well, let's think about it. We got drums, that's one. We got audio gear, we got watches, we got vintage cars, we got my BMX bike. What have I missed?
Speakers.
Well, yeah, but that's the audio gear.
Oh,
we talked about
it's the
that.
same thing.
We had that discussion. That's at least 5 off the top of my head. Without
So you
watches.
are going
Did I
to
say
learn
watches?
how to have a hobby on fire, how to go from working way too much to living the O'Neill Life on Fire lifestyle with lots of hobbies and money to boot. Wow. Coming at you. Hold on. Ready? Go. No, this is the John Lee Dumas.
The official the John Lee Dumas speaking engagement.
Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and I'm a kick-ass business coach, and I'm on an absolute mission to help you find your purpose in life, to help you love what you do for work every single day, to help you be the rock star that you are meant to be, to make more money than you ever thought was possible, and to have more time freedom so you can actually enjoy the life that you're living. I'm here to help you set your life on fire.
All right, and we're back with Michael O'Neill, the hobby extraordinaire. And so, why do you think it's so important to have a hobby as an entrepreneur?
Because I think entrepreneurs by default can work all the time. Like literally you wake up and you're like, I got 19 things to do before 10 o'clock. So you just do them and do them and do them.
Like on a Friday at 5:30 when we could be eating dinner and hanging out with the ladies?
It's 6:15 and we're recording a video. And it's like it's so easy to feel like you're underwater and you always have stuff to catch up on. So you could literally just sit with your laptop and work until midnight and then fall asleep.
And so I have to admit, I've been guilty of that for quite some time.
We all have.
And so I brought in my buddy, he's in my wedding party. I mean, we're talking, buddy of buddies here. And
we fought yesterday.
We had a cat fight.
And like reconnected.
Fight.
We were like, all right,
we made up. I mean, that literally bummed me out.
It bummed me out
until I called it. I had to call first because I knew he's too stubborn to call me back.
Believe it or not, I was actually I was on interviews all
day.
I
was too.
I couldn't
My first break, I called him.
Anyway.
So, but check this out. So, when I was a kid, I don't know if you know any of this, but when I was a kid, I was so into hobbies from snowboarding to World of Warcraft. I mean, just like, the figurine things, games, everything. And my brother, my family were always just like, you have so many hobbies. It was always nuts. And then once I became an entrepreneur, workaholic all through my 20s. Then Life on Fire, of course, want to have fun, love life, love the business. And so I was on a hobby hunt, literally posting on Facebook, posting around, I need a hobby. And then I was like, you know what? What buddies do I know that have amazing hobbies? And sure enough, Michael O'Neill has a ton of them. So
I do.
That's how this happened. And I've gotten into one so far.
Yeah, you're one down.
I'm in. I got the bug now.
So actually, let's talk about that. So for me, my audio hobby, like audiophile, hi-fi audio gear, actually it's fairly recent. So I just kept scanning on Craigslist for this particular brand of speakers that I like, and a set popped up that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And they were like the big
Paradise?
Paradise.
Okay.
Well, look at you.
See, right? I know that stuff now.
Canada, made in Canada, all manufactured, like no Asia, like it's all built by the Canadians, and they have everything in-house, which is rare.
Yeah.
And they're able to give tons of bang for the buck for their speakers, and this one sort of rare unicorn pair showed up on Craigslist, so I was like, and I picked them up, and I was amazed by how good they sounded, and I said, wait a second, I got a nice receiver, I now have nice speakers, and I have a Mac Mini. I should make a real setup. So I dove in.
Yeah.
And that was like 3 or 4 months ago. I've since completely changed my room 3 entire times. Like changed every speaker.
So I ended up getting involved with some hand-me-downs. And that's where I came in with some hand-me-downs.
Talk about the speaker set and how profound that was.
So I love music. I mean, that's like that for me. I listen to music all day while I'm doing coaching calls. The whole 9 yards, right? So music. I mean, it changes our state. Love it. And hearing your system at your spot and like how crisp the audio is, and it's such a different experience. Like it's almost like you don't know what you don't know. And once I had a little taste of the audio, I mean, it was absolutely incredible. So getting all that set up is
So this is the one little thing with the hobby part of it. Because it's easy to go buy stuff and set it up. For a demonstration, I put a couple speakers against the wall, and then I played a song, and then I pulled the one speaker out, and I was like, what do you hear?
Eyes closed. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. It sounds over there. And then it was like, move the speaker, and all of a sudden, like, bam! Like
it was like
whole thing
right there.
All around you. So it was awesome. I mean, the audio was crazy.
But for someone who doesn't even know the difference, right? It's like
night and day, dude.
Night and day, dude. It's like it's not enough just to get them, but then learning how to set them up and learning how to like tune it to the room totally makes a huge difference. Huge. But that's the hobby part. Yeah. That's the part where you like get to dig in and go online and kind of, research and that kind of thing.
That's why you need this guy in your corner, because the setup and all that, it would have taken me literally a week full time.
But I won't do it again. So now it's going to be on you.
It's there.
You're going to have to find the forums. You're going to have to know the gear you have, and you're going to have to know your upgrade path.
So just to cut back to the cat fight. So, I mean, I think we got to explain what happened.
No, we only got 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes. All right. Well, you're gonna have to stay tuned for that.
As
It'll
friends,
be a separate episode.
It was we're both like stressed and whatever, and that was it.
It was all right. So other hobbies. So I do want to just highlight one of your other hobbies.
Yes.
So did you know Michael O'Neill, race car champion driving? So tell us a little bit about racing cars, which is going to be my next hobby. And I got to tell you, getting into the hobby world, we got to have the balance. So tell us about racing cars, what that's been like, and I needed some footage of that.
Yeah. In 2000, year Y2K, I started racing. I had an '89 Honda Civic hatchback that I bought, SI, not knowing anything about this. And I happened to start racing SCCA Autocross, which is like in a big parking lot with a bunch of cones. And I didn't know it at the time, but I had happened to buy for $1,500 the right car for this particular class that I entered.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I was like winning, and I was new. I was like new at it. It was so cool to, same drill, like find out a little bit about it, get really intrigued by it, and then I call it like a case of the needs, where you show up in the morning, you're like, oh, this will be fun, I'll try this thing out. And by the end of the day, you're like, oh, I need a new sway bar. I need new wheels.
It's like me, I needed black speakers.
Right, you needed black speakers.
They were brown before, I needed black.
Right, you needed black. So you don't know what you need until you get there and start doing it. And then all of a sudden you're researching what fits for my car. And it's just fun. It's a good way to disconnect from this sort of day-to-day grind of work. Yeah. It gives you another reason to like go online, connect with new people who, by the way, I've already connected with people that have started listening to my podcast and will probably end up joining my...
How a hobby can make you money.
I'll tell you a quick story about it. I'll tell you a quick story about that specifically, is that I have a vintage Porsche that I restored. I joined a Porsche group on Facebook and posted a couple things, just total nerd out, like talk about these things. Someone friended me on Facebook, saw what I was doing with a company I was with, and then instantly joined that company. So just because I joined and like you're joined a group networking, and connected.
It's like different circles networking, basically.
So anytime you can expose, what you do to an entirely new group of people. So like you might join an audio forum now and be like, hey, I've got this. And someone goes, hey, what's Life on Fire? And all of a sudden they're at Ignite.
Let me tell you.
Right? All of a sudden they're at Ignite. And then maybe they become a private coaching client because you got a hobby. So that's what's cool about it.
And I think another takeaway here as far as the hobbies is that life is so short. We spend so much time working, right? I mean, that's as entrepreneurs, we get so sucked in. And even in this short amount of time that I've been looking for a hobby, getting into the audio world, going racing with you, like I'm looking for cars now.
Right.
But it's like life is so much more than just going full out working all the time, every single day. And that's what this is about. So, and one thing that I love about you is that, is when you think about what a life on fire is everyone has a different definition, but we already know that it's not the money, that's not the end game.
No.
Right? It's the journey and enjoying what your life as you go through it. And you're a great example of that, because you could make more money, but your quality of life is awesome.
That's right.
Like you're able to like work on your car on the day, or like you're able to do cool things or work at different spots. So how would you describe that work-life balance? And you still have a 6-figure awesome income, but you're able to have fun and like kick it, and like you're out of a lot of friends that we have, you're the one that has probably one of the looser schedules where you can go and do cool things. Like we hung out on a Monday, you're like, wow, it's a Monday. I wouldn't expect you here, you know?
Right, yeah.
No, I'm like grinding, going, and it's like, you know, it's unplugging and getting the hobby so we can really enjoy life. So tell us about that, just about your work-life balance.
I've been approached, hey, would you do this? And I'm like, I could, but then that would lock down, like I do Mondays and Fridays for coaching calls. I do my show and stuff like that. But I was like, I could, but I would have to actually take another whole day and do more coaching calls. Like I could definitely get more
you could make more money. Yeah.
For sure. I could make more money and do what I do. But that's not this. I lost my parents very suddenly. And when my mom passed away, which was totally a surprise, I said, I want to be able to say yes to things, like opportunities to go have fun and go live a life, more than I need actual cash. Because I lived for like 4 years with nothing.
Yeah.
So the money part, now it's nice to fuel some of the hobbies. It's cool to be able to go, oh, I want this thing that I never could get before.
Yeah.
But the way bigger payoff is being able to like take my laptop, go work on the beach for a few hours with my laptop and like get some work done, come over here, hang out with some friends, do some hobby stuff.
Heck yeah.
And so the trade-off is, I think once you have enough, enough is sort of like, I can live a life on fire now, I can travel, I can hang out with some friends, you know, then you can focus a little more on you. Like you were so head down to get to that point.
It's like survival mode then meets, and your needs are met, like your housing's met. It's like, you know, the hierarchy of needs. It's like once you meet that, then it's all right, take a deep breath, enjoy life.
Enjoy it, and then drill for a minute, get to a point where now you're a little up-leveled and you can maybe afford a little nicer hobby.
Yeah.
But then breathe, take a deep breath again, do some travel, you know. And I think it's so important to do that, and I think it's something that I had to teach myself.
Yeah. Well, and it's something that, I mean, I would say almost every single entrepreneur goes through that cycle of just grinding and then forgetting what life is actually about. And I'm going to tell you, dude, I don't think I've ever told you this story, and it's incredibly personal. I have not shared this with many people because it really like hurts me to even say it. But like my Pipe, because I'm French, was the number one.
You're what?
I'm French. Pipe.
Pipe?
Meme and Pipe. Yeah, French.
Is that grandfather?
Yeah, grandfather. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm like,
who's Pipe?
What's a Pipe?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
your grandfather.
So basically, my grandfather was like, out of all the men in my life, like in people, like he is like the one guy like I always idolized as a kid. He was like the life of the party.
Was he French?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But 100% French. Like grew up in France.
Yeah. So Meme, Pipe, French. So I'm like 3/4 French because my grandma on the other side. So he's like the life of the party. He was known for storytelling. Like he was, you know, a vet, and he was just like loved my Meme so much. We'd catch him pinching her butt and like just like into their old age, right? And this guy, like he was such a role model and just loved life and was so happy and just an amazing guy, right?
Yeah.
So my whole family, we always idolized him, and towards the end of his life, you know, my Mime had Alzheimer's really bad, and he just took care of her into the last moments. Like he didn't care. You could not separate him, and like it was so crazy. So it was like, you know, she passed away. He lost his will to live. He just wanted to go with her, and it was like this crazy love story. And so, long story short, he basically stopped eating. Like he was
clocked out.
Yeah. And I got a phone call, and we knew like the time was kind of close. And then, you know, my family wanted me to go see him. It was like, you know, it's going down.
Yeah.
So I rip up to Rhode Island. So I'm in Connecticut, 2-hour drive, and I'm on the phone with a client, and I pull up to the nursing home, and I'm in the parking lot, and I keep hearing the beeps on the phone, and I'm in the parking lot, and I keep hearing the beeps, and I'm going and going and going and going with this client. And while these beeps were happening, it was my family telling me that he was starting to pass away.
Yeah.
And by the time I got in, I missed them holding his hand and like praying. It's so crazy. And it's just like
you're on the phone with a client.
Yeah, and what was it about? It was a freaking network marketing company. It was just like what was I thinking and what was I doing?
Hey, you know what? Can you give me an hour?
Yeah, and
whatever
like,
it was.
Like no matter, it's like in life, like whatever we think is so important in our business, it's like it really isn't, you know. And it's like, so the point of this video here is like highlighting, you know, we're joking about and talking about hobbies, but it's like it's the bigger things in life, like Like a life on fire is being successful, giving back, like, you know, making a difference. But
life is not money.
Exactly.
So it's not money on fire. It's life.
It's like enjoy
your life.
And what I love about this guy is he's a good reminder of that, of just having, you know, making money, you're making a difference, but you're living life and all, you know, you're always doing something, having fun. So that's the message here, is to enjoy the journey, not just the destination. And how do we find this guy online? So tell us how he's one of the best podcasters in the industry. And if you haven't checked out Solopreneur Hour, you have to, because he is not only hilarious and handsome, but hilarious. But so tell us about how we get in touch with you.
Twitter's great, at Solo Hour. I'm rapidly approaching. I did a move when I started the show that I wasn't going to do any sort of weird Twitter techniques. Yeah. I'm letting this be all organic.
No more Twitter hackery?
Just no
markety.
None of the move were like I would follow you just to make you follow me back, and none of that stuff. It was all organic. So I follow 911 people because I have a Porsche 911. That's how I roll. Hobby. And I'm rapidly approaching 5,000.
Whoa!
So I'm with no shenanigans. So
5,000 candles on a cake for your next birthday.
That's right. So Twitter is great, at Solo Hour on Twitter, solohour.com. No one can spell preneur in this country.
It literally
you can't because you're French.
It's impossible.
You understand the EUR whole situation. But Solo Hour there, or Facebook, or whatever. You know.
So what do we need to tweet this guy right now? Just what's up, or hey guy? Say, hey, guy?
No, what you should tweet me is, what's your favorite hobby? Or what's the one you really want to get into?
Now, that's why he's the pro. That makes sense.
Yeah, at Solo Hour, tell me what hobby you're trying to get into, what you'd like to get into. If I can help, I can't do that. Well, if I could help, I will point you in whatever direction I can.
I love it. So if you don't have enough hobbies or a hobby, go get one, find a buddy, hang out with your friends more, be around your family, and if you have kids, be around with your kids more, and allow your business to flourish so that you can give back, do cool things, and have that time freedom. So get yourself a hobby or two.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
I'm here to help you set your life on fire.